Hi, and welcome to Bachmann's New Model Monday Live for November. It is hard to believe that we are approaching the end of the year, isn't it, Tyler?
It really is. It feels like the year has just been flying by, and we're getting towards the end of the year. We've got a lot of exciting products that have just arrived that we're going to share with you, or will be arriving by the end of the year. And we also have some cool new reveals for products that will be arriving in 2026.
We do, yeah. And that's pretty much what we're going to be looking at on this stream. We're going to be focusing on, we've got some N scale samples to look at. We've got quite a few HO scale samples, and then we've even got some ON30 stuff. A little bit of surprise for you narrow gauge fans out there. We've got some reveals for paint schemes. So let's go ahead and get started. Do apologize for the slightly late start. We were just figuring out some technical issues, but we're going now. And Tyler, I'm going to hand over to you to talk about the first product.
Yeah, let's do it. This is we shared these images of these cars on Facebook over the last week. We'll go into a little more detail and show them all off tonight. And that is the painted sample of the 1900s era 68-foot passenger car. And here it is. We announced these cars last summer. We first showed the engineering sample back in January, and now the painted samples have arrived for this brand new passenger car. This represents cars that were built from about 1900 to 1910, and I believe some were built in the 1890s as well. These were an interesting design because they kind of came at the very tail end of when wood passenger cars were being built before the railroads transitioned to all steel construction. But many railroads did keep these in service up until the 1950s in some cases. So we wanted to bring in a new passenger car that kind of fills a gap in our line and in the market between your kind of old time 1860 to 1880 passenger cars like we have in our line, and then the heavyweight and streamline passenger cars that came later. So we're going to bring this in nice and close and show off some of the details here.
So
As
for
I
some
mentioned,
reason, with the latest update on this software, we're getting a close-up crop because you've got your camera in portrait mode. So you might
okay,
want to hold it up a little bit more, or you can turn it to landscape.
yeah, apologize for that.
There
How's
we go.
that?
Perfect.
All right, here it is. Here's a good side view of the car. You notice I'll bring it in close here. This car, we were not originally planning this, but it was a decision made late in the development process to add a fully detailed interior. So you can see here the seats, and there's even a wood burning stove on this end of the car. On the opposite end, you've got a lavatory. Turn it over, you've got a detailed underbody with the with truss rods. Got some nice plain bearing trucks here underneath. You've got the open platform ends. So this, of course, is the Pennsylvania Railroad scheme. The Pennsylvania had cars that were very similar to these. They were a partial vestibule design instead of an open platform, but they were very similar. This particular road number, 8177, of course, is preserved at the Railroad Museum of Pennsylvania. And we've got 3 additional road names, 2 road numbers for each of these road names, which I only have the 1 road number to show tonight, but this will allow you to get a 2-car consist right away once these release in 2026. We've got Southern Pacific here in a olive drab. I'm personally a big fan of the olive drab. You know, it's basic, but it's very evocative of the time period, the early 20th century,
It is,
when
yeah.
these cars were in use.
Yeah, that's a beautiful one.
Yeah, we have the green tinted clerestory windows as well.
And that's a feature on all of them, right?
Yes, yeah, I'll hold them both up so you can see the green tints. This would have been stained glass on the prototype. I should mention, I believe we mentioned before that these particular cars are based on a Boston, Maine prototype. many of which are in preservation at the Strasburg Railroad. But very similar cars were used by multiple other railroads. Here is the New York Central and Hudson River, the early name of the New York Central system before they up until about the 1910s. So these coaches would fit right in behind a locomotive like the 999 Empire State Express. A very nice looking wine color with gold lettering and lining.
Yeah, this suits these cars really nicely. And you were telling me the other day about the how you found out about this paint scheme because I was asking you, all the photos from that time period, if there were any to be found at all, were obviously black and white. So you had to do some research to figure out this paint scheme, right?
We did, yeah. I had a connection that actually directed us to a spreadsheet and a website of 19th century railroad colors, and they would rely on either visual depictions like a painting or passage or a newspaper article where it mentioned what color these cars were painted in, and that was where we got the wine color for the New York Central from. I'm going to see if I can find the link to that so I can direct anybody who's interested to that. But I'm just going to show the last road name here. I think one that's going to be very popular. As I mentioned, the Strasburg Railroad has several of these cars from the Boston and Maine and a couple other railroads. And we're offering two Strasburg cars in their modern era red and black scheme. This is the Walnut Hollow. And we're also offering, it's car 65, and we're also offering the number 59 Grasshopper level car.
Beautiful paint scheme,
So,
iconic railroad,
yeah,
obviously.
yes. We were also very fortunate to have assistance from the Strasburg Railroad for this project from their former general manager and a couple individuals in their mechanical services department. Who were able to help us with some measurements and getting us in to get access for reference photographs and matching the paint colors to the real Strasburg cars.
And it certainly helps that we're not too far away from Strasburg here in Philadelphia.
Mhm.
But of course, these cars, these types of cars can be found across the country. I mean, as evidenced by the paint schemes that we're going with. But even today, I mean, the Strasburg Railroad obviously runs a number of these, but the Big Trees and Pacific Railroad, all the way in Santa Cruz, California, actually runs some of these ex-Boston and Maine cars as well. So whether you're modeling
Yeah,
today or you're modeling the era that these cars were originally running in, there's certainly a wide variety of applications you can use them for.
yeah, definitely. They fit right in the tourist era, and also for those of you who like to model the early of 20th century, which I think is kind of an underappreciated era for model railroading equipment in terms of what's out on the market. So we're excited to be bringing this out to expand what's available out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's plenty of locomotives for that era, like our previously made Baldwin modern 440 and stuff like that, but not a lot of passenger cars.
Mhm. Yes, we have the Baldwin Modern 460, which is currently in our line as a DCC ready model.
Mhm.
We have the, some of the later period 440 Americans, as you mentioned. We've got our previous released Alco 260, and I believe even the Baldwin 280 could be found pulling these cars.
So very versatile models and great looking cars too. You know.
Yes. And I have if anybody is interested, the resource I mentioned, which is publicly accessible, it is the Historic Railroad Paint Color Index, and it is hosted at pacificng.com.
Awesome. And just to expand a little bit on what you were saying about the interior seats not being an original feature for the model, we're trying to be cost conscious with the development of new models that they are in an affordable range and can balance affordability with detail. But these cars just wouldn't look right without it. So we decided to put the extra effort in and get the full interior designed and produced.
Yeah, we got a lot of feedback, in particular at the Amherst Railroad Hobby Show, that the cars are great. They'll be perfect if we have the interior, and now we have it in there and ready to go. So look out for these in early 2026.
If you can just tip it up a little bit there, I love how the potbelly stove at the end there actually lines up with the chimney.
Yes, it does. Bring that in closer.
Yeah. Yep. Really nice cars. Um, so should we stay in HO and move forward in time to some modern releases?
Yeah, let's do some modern era releases. This is both for both HO and N scale, and these were recent freight car arrivals that we also shared on the Facebook page. And this is the second upcoming model as part of our new partnership with our new licensing agreement with Pan Am to use the Pan Am trademarks for Pan Am Railways. So this is our HO 50-foot 6-inch outside braced per diem boxcar with the end of train device, and is in the color of the Pan Am Railways. It has the Main Central reporting marks, of course. Main Central, one of the railroads that made up the Guilford system and later Pan Am Railways. So these cars were originally delivered to Main Central and were repainted in the mid 2000s into the Pan Am colors. And interesting thing about this car, not everybody may know, is that the Pan Am Railways boxcars actually had completely different lettering on either side. So you see here, you've got the classic Pan Am billboard logo here, and then the globe to the right. If I turn the car around, you still have the globe logo to the right of the door, but then it just has a plain Pan Am Railways text mark instead of the billboard lettering. Not quite sure how they decided on that. It seems like maybe there was a disagreement of how to do the lettering. It should be the classic Pan Am. It should be the classic Pan Am Railways lettering. And this may have been a bit of a compromise, but it's definitely interesting. Of course, this car does feature the operating end of train device with the blinking red LED that is track powered. We also do continue to sell the end of train device separately as a kit that you can install on several of our freight cars, and it works with certain other manufacturers' freight cars as well. And if that wasn't good enough to have it in HO scale, we have it in N scale as well. The N scale version does not have the end of train device, but it does. It is of the same design of the 50-foot 6-inch boxcar.
It does have a different road number to the HO one as well.
It does, yes. Yeah, we've got the 31993 in HO and the 31995 in N scale. And as you can see, just like the HO one, the N scale has that same that different lettering on both sides.
So I think what I read was that the idea was on one side it would have the railroad's marks on it, and then on the other side it would have a kind of basically like an advertisement for the Pan Am brand, which is the one that you've got facing the camera now.
Mm-hmm.
Which that may have been speculation, but that's at least what I was able to find about it.
Yeah, it's interesting. As a reminder, this was the first Pan Am product, which we revealed back in the summer. That being the GP40, the DCC ready GP40 in HO scale. So you've got both the beginning and your end of your Pan Am train there.
And of course, that's also the more recent dark blue paint scheme as well, using the older Pan Am winged globe logo.
Yeah, they went with two very different looks for the locomotives versus or most of their locomotives versus the freight cars. There were some locomotives that did have the lighter blue and the dark gray, but that kind of dark blue dip job, very pretty much the typical Pan Am Railways image for their locomotives.
And of course,
And I do want. This is not a Pan Am item, but it is another N scale outside race box car. This is the other road name we're adding in this next release, which is Florida East Coast. This is a lot less common paint scheme. I believe there were only about 5 or 10 of these cars that were painted in this particular scheme with the black ends. Most of them were just this red-orange color all over. And this also gives me an opportunity to show off an upgrade that we're making with this new production run for the N-scale car, which is that the couplers on this car are now body-mounted instead of truck-mounted, as they were when this car first came out. So that's an upgrade that we'll be making on both the FEC and the Pan Am car, and we'll be updating all of the N-scale outside race box cars in this way going forward.
Yep. So this will be a running change on any paint schemes that were already previously available. So if you haven't bought that scheme yet, eventually they should be with the truck-mounted couplers as well. And of course, with staying with the Pan Am theme, in HO scale, with the GP40 and the Pan Am colors, but of course, a lot of their locomotives were still ran for actually pretty much right till the end when CSX purchased the railroad. They ran in the Guilford scheme, which is the previous name and brand for the railroad before Pan Am, and we do offer this locomotive in our line as well in the Guilford scheme with Boston and Maine lettering. So nice pair.
There you go.
Pair with your Pan Am GP40. And Tyler, if you could just bring up the HO boxcar again, I just wanted to highlight a couple more things about it. One of them, of course, is the opening sliding door and the interior in there. I love the wood slat flooring that you can see in there.
Yeah, I'll just bring that in.
Yeah. And tilt it a little bit more, you might catch the light.
Yeah.
The hard thing about doing it when you can't see what you're doing.
Yes, I'm working with my my phone camera here, so it's a little tricky to figure the angles out. Hopefully, you folks can see that all right.
So perfect for if you want to have it running partially open, have a
There you
load
go.
in there or something like that. There you go.
Let there be light.
And then also worth noting the roof as well.
Yes, you'll see here the roof on this car is actually doing a overspray effect, which we've done in a couple products before, but it's not a super common effect we've done. But that is true to the prototype, where in many cases, just to save on cost or just because the painting equipment would not reach it, the roof of this car would be just a natural metal color underneath. And when they would spray paint it in the blue and gray Pan Am colors, you would have some overspray that would reach the edges of the roof, but the top of the roof would not be painted. It would just be the natural metal finish. So we did a overspray on the paint here to simulate that.
I did just see a question about whether the Pan Am GP40 has DCC in the sound. This one does not. This is a DCC ready, and I believe that would be a 21 pin plug, right, Tyler?
Yes, the GP40 is being updated to have a 21 pin plug, so you can drop in the 21 pin decoder of your choice and install a speaker to get full DCC and sound.
Awesome. All right. What else? What else do you have for us here, or do you want me to go with one of mine here first?
I think that's everything I have as far as pre-production samples. So I think you've got the 0-30 reveal that we were teasing earlier.
That's right. That's right. I do. All right. So, just go into full screen here. So we did show off the early test shot sample of this car not too long ago, but we now have full painted samples. So this is a first reveal. We haven't shown these yet in photos or anything. This is our 3-bay East Broadtop style open hopper, which is a brand new tooling announcement that we announced about a year and a half or so ago now, but brand new tooling for ON30. This is the
Yeah, that's correct.
the Acorn logo. Oh, I'm sorry, what was that, Tyler?
I was just going to give some background. Of course, these were the most prominent style of hopper on the East Broad Top, especially in their later years as a common carrier. There were some that were, I believe, about 300 cars. A portion of those were brand new builds, and some of them were stretched from their two-bay hoppers, which previously existed in 0 and 30, and we do have in stock still right now. But the three-bay hopper is brand new tooling for us. This will be another 2026 release. And it comes with all the features you've come to expect from a Spectrum level model in 0 and 30. You've got all the separately applied handrails and grab irons. Got a detailed air brake detail on the ends of the cars, and you have a removable load and detailed interior.
If I can demonstrate the removable load here. There you go. You've got the cross braces, and there's the interior. And yeah, just a nice looking car, and something that was very prevalent in not just with the East Broad Top, but it made its way to a number of other narrow gauge railroads, which we've also replicated in this release. We've got Durango and Silverton here. You'll notice this one has a ballast load instead of a coal load, which you'll see on the East Broad Top version here. That's because when these were cascaded away from the East Broad Top to other narrow gauge railroads, they were typically employed in ballast service, and many still are today, actually. So we've got a ballast color load to replicate that on this car. And we also have this for the White Pass and Yukon, and this is another one that it's a popular railroad in our 0 and 30 range. We obviously have our White Pass train set, which is a very popular set, and we had a number of separate sale items in the past, and have a couple of upcoming ones, including our track cleaning tank car. But when we were looking for photos to go off of for the artwork for this, we couldn't find any with the White Pass logo on it. It was they were all just they really were pretty bare bones. They just had the car number on them, and maybe some hand stenciled information or stuff like that. Maybe not even that, but eventually just came across one photo of one, which is the 080 here, or 680. Sorry, 080.
Yeah.
The 680 here, which actually did have White Pass stenciled on it on the side, so we were able to introduce it with the logo being correct and looking pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
I do also like the white painted ladders and steps on these.
Yeah, that's it's a classy looking car. That has a little bit of interest instead of it being flat black.
It does, yeah. And then, of course, we know a lot of 0 and 30 modelers have their own proprietary railroads that they'll operate. So we do, of course, have our painted unlettered as well in oxide red, which looks really nice. I'm a big fan of how this car looks in this paint scheme, and this also has the coal load as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that is our 0 and 30 3-bay hopper. So I have a couple of other samples now for products that are going to be in stock sooner rather than later. Some final box samples, but actually, I do have a couple of earlier samples as well. Should probably cover before we move on to those. So we have a couple of first painted samples for our latest additions to our Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey range. We have the fairly whimsical butter tank car in HO scale here.
Yeah.
This is representing the Ringling Brother and Barnum Bailey's current day look. The Circus is back and touring again now. It's going to be in its second year and touring the U.S. once again. And they one of the things that that really makes the circus the circus for the people watching are is the massive bags of popcorn that you can purchase on your way in. So you got to have some butter for that. So we've got a butter tank car here.
Lots of butter for lots of popcorn.
Yes. And based more on the history of the circus, this is a new addition as well. This is our stock car in actually the same silver that we use on the passenger cars, and this is based on a real life paint scheme that some stock cars that ran with the railroad did run in to look uniform with the passenger cars. So it's not quite the same style as the prototype, but it certainly is representative of it, and will be a nice addition if you do pair it with your passenger rolling stock. Just going to grab one here. This is the generator car,
There you
which is
go.
another newer release.
Yeah. That paint scheme dates to the 1950s. The prototype was a 50-foot car, I believe. So our model is a little bit shorter, but it's as we replicated the paint scheme as close as we could. And those were the last traditional wood stock cars Ringling used until they transitioned to using converted baggage cars for transporting their animals.
And this car, like all of our stock cars, does have a opening sliding door as well. So if you want to have animals peeking out of there, you can recreate that kind of scene. Got a nice red roof walk on the top, car numbers on the end, and the silver trucks help make it pop as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I did see there were a couple of comments on our preview post that we put up on social media before the stream yesterday. One of them was specifically asking about Sir Hayden, which is one of our Welsh narrow gauge HON 30 announcements that we've been working on. And no update right now. We are hoping to get painted samples in the not too distant future. But since I have the model right here, I'll just go ahead and show. This is the unpainted sample. Sir Hayden is one of the two prominent locomotives that operate on the Talyllyn Railway. They have more than two locomotives, but Talyllyn and Sir Hayden are the kind of the headliner locomotives, I guess you would call them. And of course, we're the real life basis for the Skarloey Railways, Skarloey and Sir Handel, the Thomas and Friends series. And of course, we do have those models as well. Sir Handel should actually be coming out this winter. So there you have it. And as soon as we have painted samples, we will definitely be showing those as well. So hopefully not too much longer now.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. So everything else I have now is production samples. So I think you have some as well. So I'm going to turn it back to you for now. And we'll stay in the same track gauge, but not the same scale as the Sir Hayden.
Hold on a second. I lost your audio.
All right. Well, then I guess I'll go first. Let's see, Tyler's actually joining here. All right, how are we looking?
All right, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Hang on one second. Sorry about this. Please.
I guess the real question is, can everybody else hear me?
Nope, that didn't.
If you can't
How
hear,
about now?
hear me, please let us know in the comments.
Okay. I will be right back.
All right. So again, if you can't hear me, let me know, and we'll try and figure this out. But I will assume that everybody else can hear me for now, and we'll continue. So we've got some production samples here in HO scale for our married pair Amtrak Midwest Venture cars. So as you'll see, they do come individually, and all right, Tyler, how are we doing? Yes, no. Okay. All right. Well, while we figure this out, I'm gonna show these off.
Okay, I've got audio now.
Okay. There we go. Well, I've started talking about these anyway, so we'll just keep going.
Go for it.
So yeah, this is our married pair coach and business class cars. This is the latest addition to our Amtrak Midwest Venture series, which was the series that started the line in our HO scale range. And obviously, the business class is something that people have been waiting for because up until now we've only had coach. And the way the real cars are configured, or the way the real consists are configured, so that you can actually they actually are semi-permanently coupled. It's one coach class car and one business class car, in addition to the standard coach class cars, which are totally separate. And they do this. My understanding of it is at least that they do this just to help with streamlining the process for building consists and keeping them connected and all that. So I will show these. So let's see, we got, this is A car to B car. So let me see which one. This is a B car here. I do have one out of the box. This is the coach class car here, which is not too different. And correct me if I'm wrong, Tyler, but these aren't too different in design and style to the existing coach class cars that are separate, right?
They are essentially the same. The main difference being that the single cars have they have the door on each end of the car, and I believe that car has you can you turn it around real quick?
Yeah.
Okay, no, it's the I'm sorry. The difference is that they have the wheelchair lifts for accessibility.
Okay. I'm going to do a little unboxing here for the A class, the A car here, which is the business class car. Since this is the more different one here. So got it here. And you see it says close couplers underneath blister. So if I turn it around here, it does have actually two different types of couplers under here. So you've got close couplers. So it's got Easy Mate Mark IIs installed, which is our standard coupler, and will allow these cars to make it around tighter radiuses up to 22 inches. But the close couplers will actually allow you to run these at a more prototypical spacing between the cars. But of course, that does sacrifice how tight the radius that they can operate around will be. So that's why we offer both. If I take the car out here, show the interior, and this has the business class 1x2 seating rather than the there's the ones on this side, rather than the 2x2 that you get in coach. Of course, it's got all the appropriate markings and the slightly different body style, which you'll see. This is the one that does have the doors at both ends.
Yes. The other difference I'll mention is that for the ends, because these are married pair cars, where they connect in the middle, there is an open gangway instead of an end door. Now, in our model, that's the end door there. On our model, it's just represented as a blank panel. We did elect to do it that way in order to prevent dust and debris from getting inside the model and affecting the wiring for the interior lighting. So you can choose if you'd like to cut out that part of the end of the car. But once they are coupled together, it won't be that noticeable, especially if you're using the close couplers.
Yeah. Of course, these cars have a lot of prototypical detail on them. They have the separately applied metal grab bars on the side here. They have all the underbody detail you'd expect, and on the roof as well, and of course on the roof also. They have under this panel here, which, there we go. They have the two buttons hidden underneath the actual panel, which is authentic to the car, where you can control individually the marker lights on each end of the car. Which I guess on these they do have marker lights on the gangway end, but you wouldn't really use those. Or
Yes.
it would be a very rare circumstance where those would be used. But you do have the option to configure it for either end. And I will do a little demonstration of the coupling here as well. So these come with an NEM pocket, so the couplers just pop right out. And in addition to the close coupler, which I'll show here, which is a European-style hook and loop coupler, I guess is the best way to describe it. Not the same European style as our Thomas and Friends line, which is more British European, but this is more mainland European. And then we also have for these cars, we have the drawbar coupler as well. So you can run them with a drawbar just like you would on the real thing. And they all have the NEM clips on the end here, so just push it right into here. And if I could remember where I put the other car, here it is. Put the two gangway ends together and just pop the coupler out of that one. And there you have it. You have not only the authentic drawbar style coupling, but a really nice close coupling as well. You can see the gangways there are almost touching the diaphragms.
Yeah, can't get much closer than that.
Yeah. So new additions to our always expanding line of venture cars, and like I said, these are production samples here in their final packaging. So these should be available and shipping to retailers in the not too distant future.
Yes, and also coming in about the same time, we have these exact same cars. Well, not the exact same cars, but we have the Siemens Venture cars coming in N scale for the first time, which we know everybody's been looking forward to. These were a big hit when we had them on display at TrainFest in Milwaukee last weekend. So here is one of the 4 Amtrak Midwest cars. These are the single unit coaches, which are traditionally coupled together. And these have all the same great features as the N scale version. You've got your fully detailed interior. You've got separately applied metal handrails, which I'll, as I bring that in closer there, you should be able to just see that. They're very small, but they are there and they are separately applied. You've got your road name specific interior detail and exterior detail from the roof down to the underbody. The cool thing about these is just like the HO scale cars, the Amtrak Midwest cars do have controllable marker lights, which are the design is a little bit different on these. Well, that's not it. That part is not supposed to come off.
The joy of samples.
Yeah. Well, no, it was just I didn't read the label here. On the N-scale cars, the lights for the switches for the marker lights are underneath the car instead of on top. It's a very similar design. You just have your little toggle switches here. They're on by default, and you can click them to set them both to off if you have your car in the middle of the train, or you can have just one turned on if you want at the end of the train. I will put that back in place.
Yeah, not quite enough room on those hatches on the roof on the N scale ones for the buttons.
No, there's not, but it works just as well. Here's 2 more Amtrak Midwest cars in packaging. As I mentioned, there will be 4 in total. The Midwest cars we are expecting to get in December. They should make it just in time before the end of the year, possibly before Christmas is what we're aiming for. And we also, of course, have the VOVL Canada cars coming in N scale as well. Here is a business class coach in my right hand here and a coach class in my left hand. These feature the appropriate 2x2 for coach class and the 2x1 seating for business class. Again, they have interior lighting as well. And I'm also going to show off, just like the HO scale close couplers, which Matt just showed to you, the N scale cars include close couplers as well. So just like an HO, you've got a NEM pocket here. Coupler pops out like that. And every car includes these European style hook couplers. So I'm going to plug that in to the coach. Take out the Easy Mate on the business class. Pop in the hook coupler. And this one came out again. This coupler pocket appears to be a little bit damaged. I'm going to have to hold it together here carefully. But as you can see here, you get the close coupling effect just like you have an HO scale.
Very nice. And what's the minimum radius that these can achieve with the regular Easy Mates?
It would be a 12.5 inch curve for N scale.
It's pretty good.
Yes, it is. And I have one more venture car here. We're going to go back to HO scale. And this is possibly the most anticipated one at all. It's been in the works for some time. We know you've been waiting for it. It's almost here. We have box samples of the Via Rail Canada cab car. They are finishing up production now, and they are supposed to be in December, possibly January at the latest. But you'll at last be able to complete your Via Rail Canada consist with this cab car, which is DCC and sound controlled for lighting and sound functions. It's got a TCS wow sound decoder and speaker package. It sounds just as good as the Charger locomotive on the other end of the train. DCC controlled headlight, ditch lights, interior lighting, horn, bell, station announcement, and HVAC unit sounds. We know you've been waiting for this for a long time. There's been a lot of trial and error to figure out the right solution for the speaker placement, get all the acoustics exactly where we wanted it, and we are finishing up production now, and they are nearly here.
Yeah, these are very cool. And just listing off those features that it has, it's I think the best way to put it is these are essentially just like the real things. They're locomotives with everything apart from the actual prime mover itself, and they function just like the real thing would.
There you have it.
Yep, and we know that you guys have been waiting for these, and we're looking forward to seeing those completed Via Rail consists on your layouts. I do actually have a couple more products I just want to touch on as well, because we do have some fairly interesting announcements, or not announcements, but some fairly interesting updates from our Thomas & Friends line. We actually have a couple of... where did I put them? Here we go. We have a couple of products that are due in pretty soon. One of them, again, speaking about products that are probably the most anticipated and most asked for, this is in the Thomas & Friends category. This would be that. And that's our DCC and Sound Thomas & Percy. Here's Percy in the box here. And these are, whenever you see them in packaging like this, it means that they're, if they're not on the water yet, they're almost on the water from the factory. So we're expecting to see these by the end of the year as well. I know a lot of people have been asking for these, and we're very excited to finally be able to say that they are almost here. And along with that, we also have our 2 anniversary cars for the 80th anniversary. These are also going to be available before the end of the year to celebrate the 80th anniversary of Thomas & Friends, or the Railway Series. And we've got the vintage Thomas & Friends logo there. And then we've also got the Thomas 1945 80th anniversary logo there as well. And the corresponding classic Thomas red and blue there. So really nice cars if you're a Thomas & Friends modeler, or if you just have a good memories of growing up with Thomas. These are a great way to celebrate the 80th anniversary. So I think that pretty much covers all of the products we were going to talk about. I do want to just bring up one more thing before we move to the Q&A, and that's hopefully you guys have been tuning into our layout building series. Started back in the summer. We reached a pivotal point. If you'll see the most recent video that we just posted over the weekend, I'll just bring up the video now. Let's see, here we go. So you'll see our layout is at a point now where all of our landforming is done. You've got the trains running, you've got the trolley running up in the corner there, and the next stage is going to be to start doing ballasting and preparing the railroad for getting scenery applied to it. So it's a really fun series. Definitely make sure to, if you haven't watched it yet, to tune in. You can find it on our YouTube channel and our Facebook page. And we're building our showcase layout for video and photo and stuff here, and we figured, why not show people how it's done as we're doing it. So the goal of this is to make it as detailed a layout as possible. So we're going through more of a deep dive than just the basics for building a layout, complete with Bachmann Easy Track and all of our Scenescapes products when we get to that stage. So it's a fun project, and if you're planning on embarking on building a layout this winter, this is definitely a video series you're not going to want to miss.
Yeah, it's been as much as fun to build the layout as we hope you have watching it.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes I don't know. I almost feel bad coming into work and just doing exactly what I'd be doing at home.
I don't. I'm getting paid for it.
It's true. But yeah, so definitely check out that. And we always have other videos on our YouTube channel and Facebook page as well. We do product videos. We're probably going to start doing a little bit more with the reels and stuff on Instagram as well. So if you aren't following us on social media, definitely follow us and see all that we have going on. And with that, I think let's start the Q&A.
Let's do it. I'm going to have to. I'm only going to be able to see some of the most recent comments since I had to refresh my page. So I'll start with the most recent comments if you want to start from the beginning.
Sure. We got morning from Australia and evening from Southern Illinois. Always good to see people. Oh man, we got Germany as well. We got people all over the globe tuning in. It's really great to see. Thanks for joining us.
I have a question about the H.O. Shea locomotive. We don't have anything to show for that at this time. We are still in pre-production for that, so we don't have a brand new sample show of that. I can take off the display back here one from our previous run. There's the. This is a previous run of the Spectrum 80-ton Class C 3-truck Shay. So it'll have all the same great detail that you've come to expect. Be upgraded with metal gears and drivetrain, and it'll have Soundtrack Tsunami 2 pre-installed for the first time. So we're still on track to release it in 2026, but I don't have any other updates on it at this time.
And it's worth mentioning, of course, that the new version will come with metal gears and will be a really nice, long-lasting, well-functioning model.
Yes, it will.
I got a question about the 1900s era 68-foot passenger cars. Will we get these in N scale? No plans right now, but we are introducing our old-time passenger cars, which are slightly shorter prototypes in N scale, which have been out of the separate sale line for a number of years, and we're actually tooling up a brand new. It's a baggage car we're tooling up, right?
Yes, brand new tooling for the baggage car.
So those will be coming later in 2026.
Mhm. Oh, and the to follow up on that, the Shea I sent, I showed it is the that one is the West Virginia Paper and Pulp road name, but it is the same Shea as the Cass Scenic Railroad number 5, which was the basis for that model.
Mm-hmm.
A couple questions about other collaborations with Strasbourg, a steam locomotive, perhaps. I can say, we're not immediately working on one right now. We're not quite don't have the capacity right now to work on a brand new steam locomotive with the reintroductions of the Shea and the EM1 in progress right now. And we also have the Dreyfus Hudson arriving early next year. I mean, we'd certainly love to have a Strasbourg locomotive to complement the coaches. I guess the question is, everybody's got their favorite. Some like number 90, some like 89, some like 475. So we'd be curious to talk to some of you and figure out. Leave it in the comments if you'd like what your favorite Strasbourg locomotive is.
It's a great idea. So I have a question here. Do any of the Pan Am cars, or will any of the Pan Am cars have B&M markings? No, and the reason for that being they ran several prototypes of 50-foot-ish box cars, and the style that matches most closely with the style that we have were the ones that were painted for or lettered for Main Central.
Yeah, I believe I believe most of Pan Am's rolling stock that they own did receive the main central reporting marks. They would classify different equipment under different reporting marks for accounting and tax reasons. I believe in most cases they primarily just kept the main central marks. But we'll certainly look into if there's other possibilities.
Well, I have another question here. Are there any plans to bring back the high boiler version of the 460 in HO scale or make a late 1800s era 460? Well, in N scale, we are certainly doing a late 1800s era 460. And we have seen a lot of feedback about interest for seeing that in HO scale. So you never know what the future might hold. Let's see, any chance of an East Broadtop locomotive? I assume that's for ON30. We do have the two sets, the freight set and the upcoming passenger set, which both come with our 260 locomotive, which are based on actual 260s that the East Broadtop had early on in the railroad's existence. So if you purchase one of those sets, you will get an East Broadtop lettered locomotive. We also have a standard gauge HO scale representative locomotive. And in our Bulbin 460 series.
Yeah, we would love to do a new specific East Broadtop locomotive, like their Mikados that survive to this day. It would be a major investment in new tooling to make that happen. But when market conditions are right, I think it would be the logical next step. So it's something we'll, we can't promise if or when, but we would love to have East Broadtop locomotive. They're back in operation.
Yeah, for sure. We got somebody asking if they want to see those N scale 19th century 460s. Soon enough. Soon enough. They're
Very soon. The tooling is being made right now. The plastic injection molds and all the drivetrain and associated parts. So hopefully we'll have a engineering sample to show in the next couple months.
looking forward to seeing that for sure.
A question here: if there's any plans for Acela in N scale? We did, of course, have the original Acela. About several years ago, around the time that it originally went into service, and it was a design that, if we were going to reintroduce the original Acela in N scale, we definitely want to revise it. That was designed to have the power, the motors for that train set be in the cafe car as opposed to the power cars. It was a design that had some performance issues. So if we were going to reintroduce it, we would want to do some re-engineering work. It's not out of the question that we could do it. I think I would say it's more likely that we may choose to start from scratch and move forward with the next gen Acela, which of course is out now in HO scale, and we've been getting some really positive feedback on that. People seem to be really enjoying it, so that may be a future possibility for N scale.
You never know. I do have a question here. Can we get more venture cars in N scale? As right now, we have only announced 4, and most contests have at least 5 cars. Of course, those contests won't just have coach cars; they'll have business class cars, and they may have a cafe in them as well. So it's no secret that since we produced the married pair business and coach cars in HO, that we'll more than likely be doing those in N scale as well. So you will eventually be able to make a longer concept for cars that we're initially releasing.
Question that you may be able to answer, Matt. When can we expect the Thomas narrow gauge open wagons to release?
What is that? These guys?
Well, if that's the high side wagon, I couldn't quite see it. The high side
No,
wagons are out now. The gondolas, I believe, are due in December.
yeah, yeah. I mean, narrow gauge open wagon could mean either of those because we call them one's the high side wagon, one's the gondola. So high side wagons are out now. They've been out for a decent amount of time now. So definitely look out for those in your retailer. But these are, yeah, like Tyler said, these are expected probably early in 2026. They I don't believe they've shipped yet, so they probably won't make it by the end of the year, but they will be here early next year. And then a question I'm going to throw back at you in the same vein is when do you expect the Shays to be here?
As I mentioned earlier, they will be in 2026. We don't have any. We don't have a date beyond that. Anything more specific?
It will be worth the wait.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I think I have caught up with you here. Just make sure. I'm seeing a lot of the same questions. So this is a good question. What whistle will the new HOBNO EM1 have when they're released?
I do not know the exact name of it. As far as I am aware, I expect it will by default it will have the same B&O style whistle that the first run of the EM1 had, the DCC sound ones we did then with Tsunami. Of course, the Tsunami 2, like all the soundtracks decoders, you can change the sound of the whistle from the default by adjusting CV values. That information will be available on the Soundtracks' website once the model releases next year.
Got a question here. It says the DCC Sound 060s were mainly in only Western U.S. railroads. Any plans to do some in Eastern railroads? It's funny. I think actually most of our models are actually Eastern railroads because we have Baldwin, Ohio, Pennsylvania Railroad, and CNJ as three of the five.
Yes, we do have Union Pacific and Santa Fe for West Coast. Or I'm sorry, no, it is Union Pacific is the only West Coast. New York Central is the fifth one.
Yeah.
So if there's a specific East Coast railroad you're interested in, feel free to leave it in the comments, and we'll definitely keep it under consideration.
Yep.
And I do see we have a couple comments about if we would do any RC battery powered large scale trains again. We have no plans to introduce those again. We did that back in the 1990s. It doesn't align with our current production plans to go back to doing battery power. We're pretty set going forward on just doing traditional DC transformer control for large scale.
I see a question here. Any updates on the N-scale Thomas line? Nothing to show right now, but we hope to have samples pretty soon for some of our announcements from last year. I can tell you that we are in active development and in the tooling stage for a number of products in that line. So watch that space on our social media.
Another Thomas question about if Busy Bee Janes and Bo are being discontinued next year. They are not. They are still in stock here at Bachmann, and we will be carrying them going forward into 2026.
Yeah. Bo is a limited run though, so once this run is done, we will not be producing it again.
And a question about a Mark SC44. We unfortunately do not have a license with Mark to be able to use their trademarks, and it is something that, due to how they are set up for administrative reasons, I don't think it'll be a possibility in the near future. It's not to say things can change someday, but when we looked into it in the past, there were some boring business-related reasons that Mark could not grant a license.
Yeah. It's always on a case-by-case basis. And I think I've reached the bottom here. So if you have any more that you caught that you want to answer, feel free. But otherwise, we can probably call it a night. What do you think?
I think so. As always, if you didn't have your question answered, or if you are watching this after the stream has ended, if you're not watching it live, you can always leave your questions in the comments on Facebook or YouTube, or you can send us an email to info@bachmanntrains.com.
Right. And some questions, it's just hard to answer. Like, we get a lot of questions about, whether we can make this specific locomotive or that specific locomotive. We do keep those all under consideration, and if we do see a trend, we factor that in when we're planning our upcoming products. So we can't necessarily comment and say, oh yeah, we'll produce this or we won't produce this, because honestly, anything's on the table. But we do read those questions, and we do take them into account.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, we're going to sign off, and next month we'll be back, or I'll be back. Tyler's going to take the next month off. I'll be back with Dave, our sales manager extraordinaire from the Midwest, to
That David
discuss
Melville.
yes, to discuss train sets for getting people started in the hobby this holiday season. So we will catch you again next month.
See you then.